So at the beginning of this year, back in January, McDonald's made the decision to bring back the Big Arch burger and stick it permanently on its UK menu. It's here to stay. What do I think of it? Well, I think it's a nice burger, don't get me wrong, it's nice. You got the 2/4 pounder patties, you've got the cheese on there, you've got the Big Arch sauce, crispy onions, all that kind of stuff. But what I don't like is the bloody price. Flipping what, it's like £9 just for the burger on its own? No, it ain't that great. So I'm going to show you how to recreate one at home. It's going to be a damn sight cheaper and probably a lot better for you as well. So come on, let's crack on. First things first, the sauce. So this sauce couldn't be simpler. Is this exactly like the Big Arch sauce? I'll kind of leave that up to you. There's not a lot of information online about it really, so I don't think anybody's kind of quite nailed it yet. So this is an approximation of. Now, contrary to popular belief, you know, the Big Arch sauce is not the same as Big Mac sauce. Big Mac sauce doesn't have ketchup in it, okay? This does. In it goes. Now I'm using this American style mustard. I would say don't use flipping Coleman's in this because, you know, that's hot stuff. It's gonna be too powerful for this. This has kind of got like a sweet taste, which I want. About half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and I think the Big Arch sauce has got a bit of pepper in it as well, from what I can taste. So I'm gonna add some of that. Then just kind of mix it up until, you guessed it, it looks like the inside of a toddler's nappy. And this sauce really does benefit from sitting for a while. Just kind of allow all those flavours to meld together. So I'm gonna pop that in the fridge. What do I need from here? Oh, I do need some onions, so we'll have that. And we'll have the beef as well. And the gherkins. And the cheese. And I'll have the crispy onions while I'm at it as well. Now it's a good idea, before you kind of make these burgers, is to get everything prepped. So I've got half an onion here. I'm not going to use all of that. I'm just going to peel that crappy bit off. And I'm just going to dice this up nice and finely. Now I'm only going to do one burger, but I will make the recipe up for two. Get that onto a plate. Try not to spill it all over the floor. I've got some lettuce here as well. I'm gonna get some of this shredded up. Iceberg, of course, because it is the best lettuce for a burger. No need to be precious with it. And by doing this, you know, you're not rushing around chopping stuff when you're trying to make the burgers. So it's a good idea to do your mise en place first. Then I'm gonna slice up a gherkin. Nice fat, juicy, thick boy. You could probably skip this step if you've got some already pre-sliced. I'm gonna cut them nice and thin. Now here in this tub, I've got some crispy fried onions. I made these myself last night because the shop didn't have any pre-prepared, you know, tubs of those crispy fried onions. So just buy a tub of crispy fried onions. It's a lot easier. But all I did with those was just dice up some onion, fry it off in a little oil till they're nice and crispy, and then just kind of blotted them dry on some kitchen paper. So I made my own. Now the Big Arch burger uses a type of bun that's got sesame seeds and poppy seeds on it. Now try finding them in the flipping shops. It's nigh on impossible. So what I've got here, just some standard large burger buns, sesame seeded buns. Now I have used this brand before and they're a bit crap if you're not going to toast a bun. We are going to toast a bun, so it's going to be absolutely fine. But I'm going to shortcut this, right? I'm going to add my own poppy seeds on there. But to be fair, you could probably just use that like as it is. I don't really think the poppy seeds make much of a difference. Pan. Now I'm going to turn that onto a fairly high heat, probably like a number 5. And then I'm going to wedge in a generous knob of butter. Now I need to get that butter melted and foaming. Now once it's foaming like that, we're going to get our buns in, bun halves. There we go, because we're going to get those nice and toasted. And what I'm going to do is add my own poppy seeds. So I'm going to brush a little bit of butter on top, and I have my own poppy seeds, which I'm going to sprinkle a few of those on top. And then after a couple of minutes, your bun should be nice and toasted like that. Ah, it's bloody hot. I have turned the heat off, but we're going to keep that pan because we'll fry the burgers in that, which is what we're going to make now. Now it stands to reason if you want a good quality burger, it starts with good quality mince. I got mine from the butcher's. You don't have to get yours from the butcher's, you can get it from the supermarket. But one thing you definitely want is a high fat content. Go for something like between 15 and 20%. And what that fat does is as the burger cooks, it kind of self-bastes. It keeps it nice and juicy, nice and moist, and it adds flavour. So 15 to 20% fat. If you're getting some from the butcher's, just ask them to put some extra fat through your mince. Right, so I've got my scales here. Just turn those on. Now, 1/4 pound, which is what the patties are in the Big Arch, is some weird, ridiculous like measurement. It's like 113 point something grams, right? No one's got time for that. So I'm just going to round mine off to about 120 grams per patty. There, on you go, a bit less. Now I've said this once before, right? Less is more. You start adding loads of seasonings, egg yolks, mayo, all that kind of gubbins to the mixture. It's going to be overcomplicated and you're not going to taste the beef, okay? So all we're going to season these with is salt and pepper. And also be careful not to overwork the mix, okay? Because if you do that, it's going to become tight and tough and, you know, a bit dry. So all I'm doing is just gently flattening these out. And a little tip is if you take the bottom part of your bun and make sure your patty is larger than the base of your bun. The reason for that is to allow for shrinkage. So when that hits the pan, it's going to shrink a bit. So by making them a bit bigger to start with, will mean that they sit nicely on the bottom of the bun. Then I'm just going to take a square of baking parchment, place that on top. This just makes it easier to handle. And you can kind of stack these up, you know, freeze them as well. And then you've got burger patties at the ready. Place another piece on top, and then I'm just going to do the same with that ball as well. Okay, so we're ready to start cooking. So I've got my patties here, my trusty obligatory piece of slate that I've had for about 15-20 years. Fun fact, I used to use this in my blogging days when I used to be a food blogger. Rather unsuccessful one, I might add. So I'm going to get the pan onto nice and high. Shouldn't need any fat in there because there'll be plenty in the beef. Now whilst that's heating up, I'm going to pop my bun bottom on there. Now I've got to try and remember how this goes because there's a certain order of things. So I think it's some big arch sauce on the bottom, smoosh that around. Then some of our crispy onions, which these aren't very crisp actually because they've been in the fridge, but you get the idea. Now the big arch burger is quite generous with the cheese. It has 3 slices, so one goes on the bottom. Now I'm a firm believer of using like processed burger cheese slices. I think they work really well. But the big arch uses white cheddar, so that's what we're sticking to. Okay, I think that's hot enough. So I'm going to take our beef patty, season with a bit of salt, pepper, and that's all it needs. Don't need to faff about. Loads of different stuff. And whack it straight down. I don't think my pan's big enough for both of these, so I'm going to have to probably do this in stages. Again, a bit of salt, bit of pep. Fry those nice and hard for about 1 to 2 minutes each side. Okay, you want a nice crust to form on there. It's also probably a good idea to open your kitchen window. It's going to get a bit flipping smoky in here. And you see what I mean about shrinkage? That one's gone in first. You see how much it shrunk compared to that one I've just put in. Okay, make them larger than the base of your bun.
Thousands of tears later.
Okay, so now our patties are cooked, so we can start layering this puppy up. So, on with the first patty, another piece of cheese, the other patty, and another piece of cheese. It's a cheesy boy, this. And then to the top part of your bun, some more of that arch sauce. And then some onion, diced onion to that. Some shredded iceberg lettuce. Get it on there. 3 pickles, and then plop your lid on top. I need to tidy it up a little bit, but that is your big arch burger. That is a hefty boy, look at that. I don't know how I'm going to get my gob around this, but I'm going to flip it damn well try. Let's go in. Oh, that is fabulous. Meaty, cheesy, what's not to love? You can really taste the quality of that beef as well. That sauce is nice and tangy, it's a little bit sweet, complements the beef perfectly, and it comes in at least half the cost with McDonald's. I mean, that pack of beef mince was like 6 quid for 500 grams, and that's the most expensive bit. So the rest of it is kind of pence, really. So to make that at home yourself, it's going to cost like 3-4 quid per burger, easy. And it tastes bloody marvellous too. But listen, I'm going to shoot off, I'm going to finish the rest of this, but let me know in the comments what you think of my big arch copycat, and any other McDonald's items you want me to recreate, leave them in the comments as well. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off. I'll see your gorgeous faces next time. Ta-ra for now.